We are going to be teaching you how to do a modern mullet step-by-step in this haircut tutorial. My name is Jordan Perez, and last year I made over $200,000 cutting hair, and this is going to be my step-by-step system teaching you how to do this haircut so your clients can leave the shop happy and fresh. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so the first step is I actually like to cut the top and set the foundation for the fade. And also in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys like some of the big kind of mistakes that I see barbers make whenever they do these type of haircuts, because there's actually multiple. This is a newer haircut. This probably wasn't a haircut that you learned how to do in barber school. In this video, we're gonna go over some of those common mistakes and how to like not do those. Just a few key pointers here and there can really like transform this haircut and make it look so much better. When you're doing scissor work, you wanna make sure that the hair is fully saturated. It gives you so much better tension, so much better control of the hair. And you get way more of an even haircut, to be honest with you. So the first thing is we're gonna section the top from the sides. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find out wherever his crown is, which is right here. I'm just gonna start to section it from there. And I'm just gonna keep his hair growth pattern in consideration. And I'm trying to separate the top from the sides. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look for his recession point right here. And from the recession point, back up to the crown, that's where I'm gonna go and make my first parting. So I'm literally just gonna take my comb and just draw it over. I think you're gonna see it's gonna create a lot of straight lines, which is really nice. So whichever line and that kind of the gaps that I have in between, I'm gonna pick whichever one connects the recession to where I want it to connect in the crown. So all I'm gonna do is put the comb in right there, and you see that I get a really, really nice straight section, very, very easy. Instead of trying to go and like piece it out and it all being super messy, you can literally just draw the comb like this and then pick whichever gap of hair that you want to have that parting at, just like this. And you get a really, really nice straight line, very easy, and it's super easy to part like that. Now you can see how that connects to the back of my crown right there. Right here, he has his recession. I have my point back here. I'm gonna just literally take the comb and just move it forward, just like that. Now I'm seeing where the hair starts to split, and this is like that kind of gap of hair that I want. I'm gonna comb this hair up and comb this hair down. And you can see it gives me a really, really nice and straight line. We're gonna be doing a skin taper. So I need to be able to blend in with a clipper here, but I need that length to get longer as it goes back so I can have scissor length back here. I'm gonna go from the round of his head. So you can see I'm putting my comb on the side of his head right here. And the part that is bending, that's like the parietal ridge. That's where I wanna start. I'm gonna take a section right here, comb it to me with the fine teeth of the comb, and I can go and I can cut. Now my taper is gonna be almost rounded like this. So this is gonna be my first kind of base guideline for my fade work inside of the taper. One of the first mistakes that people do is they don't know how to blend the clipper work into the scissor work. So it ends up looking super disconnected, there's no flow, and people don't really know how to attack that. But now you guys see we have our first kind of baseline here. Now what I'm gonna do is just set my baseline for my scissor work back here. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take some of this long hair and I'm gonna just move it out the way. So now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pick my length, still using the fine teeth of my comb, and I can cut that off. I'm gonna be cutting a straight line here. Just imagine a straight line just like this. So I'm gonna comb the hair down, and all this hair here, same thing. I'm just gonna cut the straight line. What I do between these 2 points, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this hair, I'm gonna comb it out, and you can see that where this hair naturally kind of lands, when I pull it all the way out here, kind of gives me a guide of what I need to cut. So now I have another straight line that's gonna go just like this. Remember, I have one here, now I have one here. I'm gonna comb it straight towards me. I have my guide right there, and I can go and cut. Straight towards me, and cut. Now I'm gonna go and create this line on the other side. All this hair right here, I'm gonna comb it out. You can see I have that natural kind of fall off. I have some natural fall off right here. Remember, that was my guide. What we're going to do is actually cut this hair shorter. Because remember, the length of the mullet really comes down here. This hair is just gonna lay on this hair and flatten it out. So what I'm gonna do, the round of his head, I'm gonna use that as my point to pull all this hair out right here, right from that round of the head. And then I'm gonna go and just grab a piece. I'm gonna pull this out, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pull this out too. Now you can see that this top finger is a lot closer to my chest than this one is, so it's gonna be very long up here. I want this to either be shorter or I want it to be the same length, almost like just in line with the comb. So I'll go, I'll pull it, and all this length up here is extra. I can literally just go and cut it like that and use this as a guide. So now I can drop it, it's okay. I can pull it straight towards me, and I'm gonna see my guide is right there. And now I can cut all this hair to match the guide that I have right here. Now remember, I created a straight guideline down here. So the same thing up here, you're gonna see me cut hair in another straight line right there. All this hair right here, I'm gonna pull it as far as I can. You can see that's my guide. Boom. So now I can really go and just start taking about finger length sections. I'm gonna pull this hair straight out towards me. And now you can see it tells me right there on what length I need to cut. I have my guide up here and I have my guide at the bottom, and I can just bring those 2 points together and cut it. That's my guide. You see guiding my guide. I'm gonna put my fingers on the head at the beginning like this, but now I'm gonna start to angle my fingers off of the head so that I can have more length. I'm gonna start like this, and you can see my guide of hair that is already cut here versus all this hair is not cut. And I'm purposely pulling it away from me, away from the head to preserve some more length. You see how this is already cut? That's already cut. You see my guide right here? I can cut that as well. Take a section, comb everything else away. And you can see here, I have my top line, my top guide, my bottom guide. Now in terms of connecting this side, I'm gonna do it in like real-time speed so you guys can actually see that it really doesn't take that long. My regular pace. Pull it out towards my chest. See my guide, my guide. This same point that I use to section the top from the sides, I'm gonna actually use it to section the top in half. So this is gonna be my start point, and then the front of his hairline in the middle, just right above his nose, is gonna be my other point. My fingers right there in the middle of his head, draw a straight line. I have all my nice comb, like my nice comb partings, my comb gaps, and I can go take the hair right down the middle. Now, if you see people doing this, you might be like, why are they doing this? It looks crazy. This just helps you to make sure that the haircut is the same length on both sides. You don't have one longer than the other, and it's a super efficient way to connect the top into the sides while also giving you a guide to actually cut the top of the hair without having to do that profile section down the middle. So behind the ear is my reference point. I pull the hair out to the side, and then if I pull this hair up, I can actually find the guide down here. And that is the guide that I follow to connect the top and to the side so you don't have any like weird hangover that doesn't really look good. Now everything in front of the ear, we're gonna have a little bit longer, and this is actually the next part that a lot of people mess up on this haircut, is he has a curlier, wavier texture of hair. So if he tells me that he wants his bangs to be like maybe middle forehead or an inch above the eyebrow or whatever, if I cut it too short, when I style it, it's gonna shrink up. So if I cut it here, it's really gonna end up here. So you have to understand, okay, where does my client want their bangs at? Let me cut it a little bit longer if they have curly hair, so when it shrinks up, it can actually be wherever they want it to be. When I start doing everything in front of the ear, I'm actually gonna angle it down a little bit to keep more length here. Because if I go here, it's gonna be super, super high, kind of like goofy looking. So now I can go and angle it down using that fine teeth of the comb. And if you don't see your line, you can always go and lift the hair up with your comb and then cut it. This is why, like, guys, sometimes doing a free haircut on, you know, a haircut that you maybe struggle with can actually really help you, because when you do get the chance to cut that client inside of the barbershop, it's really gonna help you to actually lock in that client. I think that's like a big misconception that not a lot of barbers understand, is that free haircuts can really help you make a lot of money in a lot of different ways if you just understand how to leverage them, how to get the most out of them. So I'm gonna stand right here behind him, and I'm just gonna take sections. So I'll pull the hair up, and I can see where this part's already cut, and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna cut it. Since he likes texture in his hair, and I want it to look really flowy, really nice, really dope, I'm gonna go, instead of cutting it like this, I'm gonna cut it at an angle like this. Don't cut your fingers, guys. It's okay. You guys have to go slow to do this. As you get your skill set developed, you will get a lot better. And there's ways also of just leaving one of the blades on your finger and then just opening and closing the other blade, and that helps you to be a lot more consistent. So instead of just going like this and like cut it into your finger, you can just go pull the hair up, lay one of the blades right here on your finger, and then just open and close it, just keeping it at an angle. And it helps you to not slice your finger, because that'll suck. And that's not fun to do. Another one, boom, boom, boom. And then as you get it, you'll be able to move a lot faster. Now, when I get to the part of his head where it actually starts to round down to his forehead, here you can see it's rounding down. I actually like to take vertical sections. Helps me control how much weight is on the front. So you can see here now that I'm taking a vertical section, I get another triangle peak. That's because I already cut some of the front and because I already cut what's behind it. So now I can go and I can layer it. So I'm cutting it on the same angle of his head. And that really helps to make sure that the front doesn't have too much weight. Now, if you have a lot of weight on the front of the bangs, that's really where you get like that kind of Edgar look. Now, you don't want that. So now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start my clipper work on the sides and do a medium skin taper. Now I'm gonna comb the top away and comb the back away as well. This is my number 4 guard. I'm gonna use this to start going and debulking my taper. Now you can see the kind of heaviness that I have from those scissors, and I'm just gonna go and bring my clipper up, and when I get closer to that line, I'm just gonna kind of flick out a little bit. Just because what I don't wanna do is I don't wanna go in and kill all that shape that I just created. So for this one, I'm gonna start it where his ear connects to his head, and that's gonna be my first guideline. And then I'm gonna make sure that every other guideline is as close as possible. When I do the other side, I'm gonna use those same reference points, and that's gonna help me keep my taper the same height on each side of the fade. So first I'm gonna go with my clipper closed, and that's my first guideline right there. Open my clipper all the way, create about 1 inch right there, put a 1 guard on my clipper, open it up, and I'm gonna create another one right there. Now, since I already have my 1 guard in my hand, I'm gonna go close it and start to just soften up this area in between. It's almost faded, look at that. Now I'm gonna go, and since it's a skin taper, I gotta go and debulk this. So I'm gonna take my Babyliss FX1 trimmers and take all this bulk away. Then I'm gonna go and use my Babyliss UV double foil shaver, and I'm gonna go right under that. And I'm really trying to just be very light-handed the closer that I get to that line, so that I don't really have a super difficult line that I have to take out. And now I can go and I can start fading into this longer hair. Now for my first section that was about 1 inch big, I'm gonna start closed and go up halfway. I'm gonna do 1 click, go up a little bit more, 1 more click, do a little bit more, and you can see it's faded out. Then I'm gonna go and I'm going to grab my half guard right here. I'm gonna start halfway. I'm gonna blend out this area right here. Since I'm in a very tight area, I'm using just the corners. I'm not using the whole blade. I don't wanna bring it up too high, and I don't wanna cut hair where I'm not supposed to. I really just wanna use my corners. You can see all that's faded out. Now I'm gonna do my 3 guard closed, and I'm gonna go right under that 4. A big mistake that people make when working with these longer guards is that they look at the top of the guard instead of looking at the cutting teeth. These do not cut hair right here. What cut hair are these metal teeth right here. So when I'm bringing it up in my fade, I'm not looking at where these are in the fade. I'm looking at where the metal teeth are in the fade, because that's what actually cuts hair in the first place. A lot of beginner barbers, they don't go high enough with their clipper, so their fades look very heavy. Like, you gotta stretch these blends out. You stretching a blend out makes everything so much easier. It makes you a lot more efficient, a lot faster, it makes your detail work a lot easier. And also, majority of clients, they wanna see that fade effect when it comes to their taper or their fade. If you're experiencing a lot of clients asking you to go up a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, if you just started stretching on your guidelines, you would probably solve a lot of that issue, because majority of clients don't really ask for compressed fades. They wanna see the fade. Now, that was the 3. Now I'm gonna move on to my 2 guard. And you can see that as I go over this line, it's starting to soften out. And I'm still just focusing on using my corner teeth because I'm in a smaller area. And since I'm at these longer lengths, I'm using a comb versus a brush. Everything under like the 1 open, I kind of suggest a brush to get that debris off, but everything over that, I really suggest a comb majority of the time. Now, similar to my half guard, with my 1.5 guard, I still start halfway open. Still just gonna use those corners. And guys, if you think that like, man, like how is this taper coming out so easy or whatever, guys, you gotta be using good tools, right? If you don't invest into your tools, like you're gonna be able to tell, your clients are gonna be able to tell, and it's gonna show in your haircuts. You want to invest in your tools, guys. Start off cheap, but Start to budget that stuff out. And you don't need a million tools, you just need a good couple quality tools. I never have more than 2 clippers on my station, 2 trimmers on my station. If you know how to use your tools and that they're quality, you don't need a whole army, a whole like doomsday kit of clippers. You can only use 1 clipper at a time. Before you detail, I always suggest that you guys actually go ahead and you guys do the lineup. When you guys do the lineup, you're gonna see there's so many spots in your fade or taper that you can improve, but you gotta put that picture in a frame, and that comes with the lineup. So I'm gonna go, and I'm not trying to push his line back at all. I just want it to be natural, but I also want it to be crisp. So I'm gonna use my Babyliss trimmers, and I'm gonna start to etch this out a little bit. So you can see that's my top point. I'll go in a little bit right here. That's my bottom point, and then I can go and connect the C. Now on this side, I'm gonna be showing you guys real speed, how it would look like in the barbershop, not filming and stuff like that. You guys got the great explanation. So if you guys wanna rewind to that part of the video, you can. But I'm gonna show you guys real speed, what this would look like. So I'm gonna start with my foreguard, and I'm going up, and remember, I don't wanna mess up any of that scissor work that I did. Now remember, where the ear connects to the head, that's my first guideline. Open it up. Now remember, since I already have the 1 guard in my hand, I can go and actually close it up and now soften this line up. Now I'm gonna go and debulk the bottom and skin this part out. Now I'm gonna use my Babyliss foil shavers, very light pressure, and now I can go and start fading this out. Now another trick is I might go, if I know I'm about to use the half guard, I might go and put it in my hand so that when I get done, I can just go and I don't have to turn back to my station. I'm halfway open, fully blended out, put this on. I'm already halfway on my clipper, blend this out as well. You can see that's already half of the taper done. Now remember, don't look at the top of these teeth, look at the metal teeth that are actually cutting the hair. And something I love about these clippers in specific is that they cut very, very smooth, like very, very smooth. And it helps me be a lot more efficient because they're super powerful. But obviously since they're powerful, I gotta respect my guidelines, because if not, I could definitely take, the fade up too high, and that's not what you want. Now I could take my 1.5 guard, halfway open, and blend this out. And you can see, without a lineup, the taper's already done. This is ready to send out of the shop. I'm gonna go and line up the front. I'm gonna draw my little part right there, and then connect the C. Now to do my client's lineup, I'm gonna be using the 245 Turkish razor coming out soon, guys. This razor has phenomenal weight, and something that I love about this razor is because the weight that it has in it and how thin the blade is, your lines come out so much sharper, and it's so much more comfortable for your clients. It doesn't feel like the hairs are being pulled out of their skin whenever you're passing it. Helps me be way more efficient and get my lines way sharper. So now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna use it just to clean up his lining. I'm gonna be careful of that right there. I'm just gonna use the corner. Same thing over the ears, just grab a little bit of the stubble. And also too, you're gonna see a lot of your clients have kind of hair right under their eye right here. And if you can't see it, just watch what the blade takes off. Look at all that came off just from under his eyes. That's some dead skin, but that's also some hair, you know what I mean? So go above and beyond. Take that off for your clients, guys. Usually if I'm going and I'm cleaning up their eyebrows, I would also hit that area too. Just stretch the skin. Make sure you have that razor at a 45-degree angle, and that just helps you not cut your client, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna go stretch the skin. Same thing over the ear. Now we're gonna style some hair. Now, you can see the hair is majority dry already. What I'm going to do is I want the waves, I want the texture in his hair to pop. I want the product to better incorporate into his hair for a longer hold. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to damp the hair just a little bit. Just take my mist bottle of water. I just need the hair to be moldable, if that makes sense. This is the 245 Indestructible Clay. The reason why I love this clay is because it helps me with majority of the hairstyles that I do inside the barbershop on a day-to-day basis. A lot of the haircuts that the kids and just men want nowadays are haircuts that have a lot of texture, flow, that don't look like they have product in their hair, right? That's not very shiny and the grease kind of style back in the days. And for that, I use 245 Indestructible Clay. I sell this product inside the shop, so it helps me make more money. This is for barbers by barbers. A little bit goes a long way. You don't need a big scoop of it. You just need enough. And now I can go and just emulsify, but now I can go and put it into the hair. And guys, like, you are the hair professional, so you should know some products. You should be able to recommend products. You should be able to know how to educate them on how to style their hair. I sell my clients products, but if you don't have product and you're not educated on it, the chance of you selling it is very, very low. I'm gonna be going and using, if you guys have ever seen any of these pokey things, this is called a diffuser. This helps with curly and wavy hair to just not, you know, break the curls apart. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do medium heat, medium speed, and I'm really just going to let the hair kind of shrink up some. Let's see if I just lost my job.
Did you done?
Happy? Yeah. You like it? Let me show you. Let me show you the mirror. So you can see, yeah, you got the texture in the back, you got the flow, super, super full. Skin taper on the sides, messy top, bangs going crazy. Bro, look at that angle, come on. Come on, look at that. I cooked? Thank you, we good, that's all I need. Thank you guys so much for watching this step-by-step breakdown how to do this curly, crop, mullet. I hope this helps you take your haircuts to the next level. Now guys, if you want more haircut tutorials like this, we have a free school, a free online school community with a bunch of in-depth tutorials from our education team. We have another school called the Six-Figure Barber Mentorship that helped me make over $200,000 last year cutting hair behind the chair. And guys, we have an event coming in Tampa, Florida. It is called EWP, Education with a Purpose. That is February the 16th. The details for that will be down below. And guys, if you like any of the products that you saw in this video, 245.com discount code is down in the description below to help you guys save 10% off. Thank you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one.